Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to Jen Talks Podcast. I know it's been a long time, but there's so much for me to share with you today. And as you know, this is Jen Talks Podcast, and it's a podcast where we talk about mindset, listening to our intuition, trusting our gut, channeling our inner voice, leading with your heart. That is a big one, and a new one, which we're going to go into a little bit more today, but also in the future. Love, relationships, emotions. We all have them. We just don't want to talk about them. I talk about them all the time. I mean, the walls are probably like, Jen, can you calm down over here? But you know what? I'm going to talk about them. And I know you will too. Okay. All right. That's fine. But we also talk about how to cope with the loss of a loved one, what those healthy coping mechanisms look like, the rules of fitness, and so much more. Now, if you are new here, my name is Jennifer, spelled with two N's, but I'm a Jen that is spelled with one N. I know it's a little complicated. But that's why I like to keep it simple. That's why it's, Jen with one N. If you're coming back, well, thank you for being here. And if you're new, well, then welcome. I really do appreciate all of your support and for listening and any advice you can possibly give in your feedback as well. Also, what I want to share too is on every episode, we do a note bene section, which in Italian means to note well. It's kind of like when you write a paper for school and you do the whole conclusion section to summarize what you talked about. That is exactly what the note bene section is for in every episode. So we can just kind of get everything that we talk about and put it into one little paragraph to take home with you, to take away. Something else is don't skip there because I'm going to know. YouTube and Spotify, they tell me everything. Okay. Okay. Also, every book, every person we talk about, business, product, all songs as well, they're going to be posted in the caption section below for you to follow along. Now, something to know is that this podcast is not about me. I get to work on this podcast with some very special people, but the primary focus is about really helping you to overcome and to heal and to think of things in a different way to really help you push forward on your path and think of things in a whole different perspective, different framework, and a different light. There are times where I will tell you stories about my life, but it really is to help you to overcome, to heal, and to understand the importance of vulnerability, because that alone right there is freeing. And to also for you to know that someone, I'm waving over here, is rooting for you and is in your corner and saying, hey, you are not alone. And I'm with you every step of the way. And if I can get through it, then I know you can too. Deal? Deal. Pinky promise? All right. You can't break those because I'm going to know. I have a whole list right now going here. All right. Also, this podcast is really just designed to help you have a different framework in your mind. Because sometimes, and myself too, right? We all need a little bit of a tweaking now and then in our framework with how we see things. The framework can go back from when we're from our childhood, or things that we learned along the way or saw along the way, thinking, oh, maybe we should live our lives this way. But in actual reality, it's like, well, no, we're supposed to be going that way. So just keep that in mind as we're moving forward today. All right. All right. Now, before we jump into today's topic, which is called Leading with Your Heart, a compassion series, which is a very special series to me, I'm going to share with you a very personal story that is the driver of this episode and give a few examples of people who lead with their heart in an encouraging and compassionate way. And guess what? This is a bonus. They are going to be special guests on the show. I know, I'm excited too, right? It's going to be fun. All right. The first guest or guests that we're going to have on the show are going to be two lovely ozone therapists named Rachel Guy and Kinsey Lauterbach. Rachel Guy is the co-owner of a live ozone therapy spa located in Altamonte Springs, Florida, along with her husband, Jason Bailey, who is the head of Bailey Podcast Exchange. And don't worry, the link to his show is in our captions section as well. We're also going to have Kinsey Lauterbach joining us too from a live ozone, and it's just going to be absolutely wonderful. Our second guest is going to be a very special chiropractor named Dr. Ben Rall, who is a book writer as well as owner of Achieve Wellness located in Kissimmee, Florida, and has a podcast called Designed to Heal. Now, if you're curious about who these wonderful people are, as mentioned, the links are provided in the caption section below for you to check out anytime that you want. Now, what's your job? Well, I'll tell you. Shh. It's to huddle in, grab your hot chocolate with those little Swiss Miss marshmallows that are my personal favorite, since now the story begins. So buckle up. We are going to jump into a lot of things today. And so just hang tight and just keep tuning in. But today we're going to talk about who led me to these wonderful people and why. What is compassion? So, what is the actual definition of compassion? We hear that word so many times, but what does it actually mean? Right? And how can we lead from there? How can we lead from there to make to kind of make the world better? How can we lead from there? We're also going to go into my personal healing journey, kind of what I've walked through in the past couple of months, and how these special people that we're going to talk about today and also have on the podcast in the future, how they lead with compassion in their hearts. All right. I'm excited to roll up my sleeves because I'm ready to go. Now, what does compassion mean? Anyone? Any takers? No, that's okay. Because honestly, before even writing this, I didn't know what the word meant either. I thought it meant sympathy, empathy, something along those lines. However, compassion means something different and is a much deeper rooted word. Cambridge University states that compassion is a strong feeling. So imagine this strong feeling that you feel right in your core. But it's a strong, deep feeling of sympathy and sadness for the suffering or bad luck of others and a wish to help them. And Merriam-Webster mentions the actual word compassion has been around since the 14th century and comes from the Latin words com, C-O-M, and pati, P-A-T-I, which means to bear, to suffer. Think of compassion as you have a bowl of compassion, right? And what's in there? Well, you have sympathy, you have empathy, kindness, care, patience, action, right? There's action that you take in your heart. Your heart shifts when you see something. We see someone in pain, it just shifts to go and to help them. And a willingness to suffer alongside someone in their healing journey. And compassion is truly felt from the heart. When there is compassion, your heart is moved. It's beautiful. It shifts. It's just something within you just turns and shifts. And you desire just to comfort this person no matter the journey, right? No matter the cost, no matter what it looks like, which leads us into someone who is the example of leading with his heart with compassion, and that is Jesus Christ. Now, during his earthly ministry, Jesus healed people out of a place of compassion and genuine care because healing is who he is. As he was watching from above, he was moved out of compassion in his heart and said, I have to go down there to help. I have to reveal the truth. I have to save them. I have to wash their sins away, for people don't know any better. His heart was and is still moved to this day out of love and compassion for us, for the lost, and for all of humanity. And he is very, very present, especially in times of trouble. Jesus himself is not here to condemn us. He didn't come down and point his finger and say, hey, shame on you for doing that. That's not him. It's just the opposite. He came down here to love us, to be our friends and guide and protect us. It's big. What we're going to talk about today it's big. And if what I'm walking through wasn't revealed to me when it was, I don't even want to know. We're just going to leave it there. Whew, okay, the big one. So as we are going through today's episode, I want you to keep these verses from 2 Psalms in mind. Psalm 121 and Psalm 46, because just how they apply to my life and what I'm going through now, I know that they can apply to your lives too. Psalm 121, verses 1 to 2 in the English Standard Version of the Bible says, I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. And you know what? You got to read the whole thing because I can't just stop there, right? Come on. I can't just do that to you. The whole thing. So grab your Bibles or look it up. Here we go. So Psalm 121 says, I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. It's just beautiful. So I really want to share the whole thing with you. I can't just leave it just the first 2 verses. Now, there is a song called My Help by Jesus Image and a worship singer, Steffany Gretzinger, that is based off of this Psalm 121. And that's also in the caption section below for you to definitely listen to, because it really is the truth that all of my help, right? Not just some help, not just a little bit of help, not that help over there, maybe some help over there. All of my help comes from him. And it's very, very evident. And God is always there to help, always, and is more present in our lives than we can possibly ever fathom or realize. And praise him for that, because I need it. I need his help. You need his help. We all need it. It's nothing to be ashamed of to need help. And it's something, and it's actually a gift to need help and to want help. A couple of things I want you to think about through this story as well is about the goodness of God, how faithful and protective he is, and how he guides you to the right people and the right places. And to keep this verse from Psalm 46, verse 1 from the Bible in mind, which is, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. So one more time. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Now, what kind of help is he? A very present. He's a very present help in what? In trouble. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. There's another beautiful song by CeCe Winans called Goodness of God. And I'm going to try not to sing it because she's got it. But she sings, all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. It's just so good. It's beautiful. So definitely listen to it when you can. Now, how does this apply to what we're talking about in this episode? Well, just keep listening. It will all make sense, because if he didn't come at the right time, we're just going to keep moving along. All right. All right. Oh, just hurry up. She's taking forever. Like, this podcast is so long. Jeez, I'm going. You're so pushy. Gosh. This is how you're going to talk to me in the new year? That attitude? You see what I'm going to deal with? I don't even know anymore. Why am I even here? Moving on. Oh, yes, you have a question? How can I help you? What's going on? What happened and how did you meet them? Jackie, you know what? I am so proud of you. That's a great question. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because you're going to get 20 gold stars. 20 gold stars, and those little Swiss Miss marshmallows, you're going to get an extra pack. An eye roll from you too? Oh my gosh. I think they're all mad at me because I was gone for a long time, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll take it. You know what? Just for you being here, you get 21. 21 gold stars just for you. All right. But I'm excited. But to answer your question, it's him. He did. The Lord. He saw what was happening in my life health-wise. And here's the deal. I didn't even know. I felt something was off, but didn't know why it was happening. I had symptoms that didn't make any sense, that really came out of left field and came out of the blue, and that I was dealing with probably for about a year and a half and maybe longer. But this is what's great. I had no clue what was going on, but Jesus knew. God saw and exposed it all. And the praise goes to him because I didn't even know. And if he did not reveal to me this serious exposure for my health, which is the root behind these symptoms, I don't know what I would do. And if he didn't lead me to ozone therapy for healing, to get all this, whatever this stuff is out, I don't know what I would do. I don't know where I would go for healing for all this. Because it's scary. But in the fact that Jesus knows and sees what is literally going on behind closed doors means I can't worry because I'm protected. I'm being guided to the right people and so much more. What's amazing is that he, right, he's the healer with a capital H, led me to the people who are not only the right healers, but ones who lead with their hearts and are driven by compassion and empathy to see you fully healed and reminding you that you can do it, reminding you that it's a step-by-step process and that healing takes time and patience. He knows the right people that will help you. You just have to listen with your heart. We all need that encouragement and support from not only our friends and family, but especially caretakers, whether it be in traditional medicine or functional medicine, because after all, everyone is a patient, whichever way you look at it. And we need to be patient with ourselves and others too in the healing journey, but through really anything in life. And it's funny because that word patient, right? It's spelled Patient, is the same spelling as the word patient when you go to the doctor's office. And what do you need to have with patience? Patience. Patience. All in the same realm. But you need to have patience to put yourself in their shoes, right? To seek to understand what a person is going through so you can have compassion for them, sympathy, empathy, and help them heal and move forward, which is also what these people, right? These people that are healing, that the Lord guided me to, because he knows who is right and who is truly going to walk with you and actually help you during this healing journey and stand by your side throughout the process, because that's his nature, to stand by us through thick and thin because of his steadfast love for us. Now, steadfast means unwavering. It means it doesn't change. So if you can see, if you're listening, maybe driving, what I'm doing is I have my hand and it is going across from my right, so your left part of the screen, and it's just gently, slowly going over to the other side of the screen, and it's not going up and down. It's just a steady pace, meaning that it doesn't change. His love for us is not conditional, it's unconditional. That no matter the circumstance, whatever it is in life, that love for us is still the same. It's not up and down all around. It's not rock. It's not Tower of Terror. That ride scares me way too much. Don't tell anyone. I don't like that ride. But anyway, that's a secret. But it doesn't change. It's not unwavering. It stays the same. And through the ups and downs in life, he is right there by our side, guiding us and being very patient with us. Just how we need to be patient with the healing process, we also need to be patient with his ways and timing. Because it says in Isaiah 55, verses 8 through 9, and this is big because it's helping me too, but it goes, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Now, what I'm about to share with you, which is the driver for this episode, I can sit here and very easily, it's very easy to get into that, very easy to get there, right? I'm not going there, but I can sit here and feel sorry for myself. Like, whoa, why me? Why me? I can ask those questions, right? But I'm not going to because I don't want to. I don't need to know. I don't want to know because I'm overcoming. I don't need to know, right? If I'm overcoming something, I'm not going to ask myself, well, why me? Because then I'm going to get stuck in that thought pattern. And I don't want to be in that thought pattern. I want to be in the thought pattern of, you know what? Step by step, I'm going to heal and overcome and move forward. And it's going to take time, but I know that I'm going to get there because I don't have time, right? I really don't have the time. And besides, his ways and his thoughts are above mine. They are. I really can do the ask, why me? But I know that I'm an overcomer and it won't change the circumstances, right? Because he knows I can get through it all and all of it works for the good. There is a reason for all of this, and the same thing applies to you and your life, right? And I don't need to understand, but know that he will carry me through. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, according to those who are called to his purpose." So, how many things? All things, right? It says here, and we know that for those who love God, all things, all, that all word, all of my help, right? All things work together for the good. Now, all things work together for the what? The good. I remember when I was writing this episode, this was a couple of months ago, and it was kind of in a back and forth. I would write and then not, and then write, and boom, 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 a lot of different things. But I remember I just was sitting down one day after ozone therapy, and I got home and I sat on my couch and I started letting the circumstances and letting the actual things somewhat try to overtake me. I felt bogged down, sad, and as soon as I felt that, I said, this is not my life. This is not me. Because I remember just sitting and thinking about the circumstance that I was in and thinking, is this my life? Like, I can't believe this is my life now. But when I started thinking that, I'm like, no, 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 no. That's not me. We're not going down that road. That's not the framework I want to have in my mind. Because the framework, it dictates or controls your path, right? It controls the steps that you take every day. And the more you think about something, the more you become that. And I'm like, I don't want to become that. That's not me. The buck stops here. And also thinking about too, that this is not me and this is not my life. And now I'm fighting because I am an overcomer and you are an overcomer too. I throw it out there. It's very easy. And this is because the mind, right? Because of the mind sometimes lets those circumstances stack up. But this is all very temporary. And if I keep thinking about my body, if I keep thinking about it, my body will become it, which is also talked about in this great book. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. It's about trauma, brain, mind, and body by Bessel van der Kolk, which actually confirmed a whole lot more in that book. And that is a great book to read. But when we stay mentally trapped in circumstances, it can cause a view to change, right? On how we see things, right? So on how I see things, how I see myself, how we see other people, certain situations, certain circumstances, etc. But I would rather overcome. I want to say there's one option, but people will say that there are two: the overcomer or a victim. But there really is only one option. There's only one, and that is to be an overcomer. Now, which one is easier? I'm going to let you answer that. A lyric from a beautiful song, it's called My Silver Lining by First Aid Kit, says, I won't take the easy road, meaning I'm not going to give up and take the easy way in life, be complacent and do nothing because of hardship or things that are challenging, because that stuff right there, that produces strength and it turns you more into an overcomer that has always been inside of you. But the button needs to be activated. Sometimes storms need to happen in your life, right? To stir up what's truly inside of you, to get you a little uncomfortable, to bring out the overcomer and fighter in you. But I have to say, even with the hardships, the challenges, I wouldn't have it any other way, because those challenging times are designed to help me grow, right? To develop and carve me into the person, right? To carve you into the person that you are meant to become and to be, and the character that is needed for you to actually be that way. Is it hard? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's hard. But wouldn't you rather look back on your life and say, you know what? Thank God I walked through that. right? And came out on the other side. Like that was tough, but you know what? I got through it. Praise God, we did it. Now, you asked who led me to these healers, but what caused it? Well, here we go. As we rewind the video cassette tape, and yes, we're going to go back to the 80s because that is my childhood. How about we press play during the week of August 17th, 2025? I know we're in 2026 now. Like, can we calm down with the time here? I keep putting in these requests, but nobody wants to listen. I mean, I just don't understand. That's fine. Anyway, but we're going to go to August 17th, year 2025, hopping in our DeLoreans, when things started to feel off. And where the apple cart of my life that I mentioned during the episode of how to cope with the loss of a loved one, well, that same apple cart, well, it got hit again. Or as Sophia from the Golden Girls would say, picture it. Florida, year 2025, month August. Not a hurricane in sight, not too hot, not too cold, but just right. Now, during this week, things felt off. And when I mean off, I mean off. With a capital O, capital W, capital FF, off big time. Just super off. As I sat at my desk next to the AC vent, I started getting very sharp, like pungent, strong headaches going right through my sinus, my nasal passage, right? While making breakfast in the kitchen, I was dizzy and couldn't even stand in my kitchen for even a second or even a minute, or even be in any room for a minute, and only felt better when I was outside or driving away. But still, something still lingered, right? It has like this weird gnawing, like it still lingered. Something within my gut, and this is where it is so important to listen to your gut and to listen to, because we are all given what we need in here, right? Our 5 senses or 6 senses, and we have to listen to it. But my gut knew something was wrong, and that was sign number 1. A smell appeared, which was in the bathroom, the bedroom, kitchen, and something within me knew what it was. I remember the night before I found out, and this was August 20th, I couldn't sleep in my own room and slept outside. And praise God, I had a patio to sleep outside. But something within me sensed it was mold. And as Billy from a funny movie called School of Rock would say, "You're tacky and I hate you." Like, who even invented you, mold? You big creep, you big loser. Get out of here. Gross. Anyway, before attempting to go to sleep that night, I reached out to a mold remediation company. And this is really great. You got to praise him. Praise the Lord. This is so good. They called the next morning at around 7 a.m. and mentioned that I need to get a mold hygienist to come first to actually get testing to see if there is mold in where I live. And I said, okay, sure. Now, this was very interesting. Something within me gave me a little bit of like a inclination. I felt inclined, a little push. I'm kind of it's like a little dance, but I felt inclined to ask, well, do you know someone? He did. And he gave me a great mold hygienist whose name is David Minshall, who owns a mold remediation company called EnviroProPlus Inc, which is located in Florida. So even though it was early in the morning, and now I'm telling you the length of the story because every detail of a story matters. Every detail of your life and every detail of your story and your life are important. People will say, well, to make a long story short. No, make a long story long. Don't make it short. I want to hear the details, right? Share the details because every detail is important. Share them. Share the details because we all need to hear them. And besides, you never know if one detail, right? One detail of your story will cause something to click in someone else's mind and cause them to go on a path where they are meant to be. And if it will be able to actually help someone, you really never know. It might change the course and trajectory of their lives for the better. I can't tell you how many times when someone said something to me that clicked or caused a switch to go off in my head and change my course or path for the better. In the rules of fitness, I remember Larry, who worked at the Anytime Fitness, he goes, there are two different types of members at this gym. You have the one that's more community, they spend time talking to each other. And the second one, they're the ones that come in, they keep their head down. As soon as he said that, something in my right side of my mind clicked, and I became the second member who just kept my head down and went to work. So you really never know. And that's why it is so important to share the details, no matter how long it takes. Share your story, no matter what. I promise you, every detail matters. All right. All right. Also, when you share the details of your story, I feel that I'm being transported into that time with you. I can get a better understanding of who you are. But that is another topic for another day coming up very soon. And something I want to say is that God is in every detail in this story and all the other ones too. As He's also in every detail of my life, He's also in every detail of your life as well. Capiche? Capiche. All right. So I felt this slight push, that same inclination, right, to call David at 7:30 a.m. and thought, maybe he's sleeping. I don't know. You never know, right? But something inside said to call him just to see if he would answer. And guess what, team? He answered, and I told him, well, hey, I think I have mold, and asked if he can come to check it out. He mentioned that he had an appointment, but could come on Monday. Sure, no problem. Guess what? I kid you not. Less than 2 hours later, he calls back and says, hey, I can be there in less than 20 minutes. The appointment that I had actually canceled because they weren't ready. And that right there is the goodness of God. Boom, boom, boom. But it gets better. David arrives, and I have to tell you, the people that we're mentioning on this episode, I don't want to throw these two words around, but in this whole story, it's the truth. They are godsends. They really are. David shows up, very thorough, very, very, very thorough, very detailed. He takes the humidity levels of the walls, checks for mold in all of the rooms, and does a very thorough check and scan of pretty much every part of every room to test for mold. Now, if you know me, you will know that I don't back something up or talk about it unless I truly, wholeheartedly believe in it. The people, businesses, and products, and also the books that we're going to talk about today, are helping me. And if they are helping me, then I know they can help you too. Now, if you live in Florida and are looking for a multi-hygienist, call him. The link to his business is posted below. And David is honestly, he's thorough, he's honest, patient, caring, kind, a man of his word, which shows character. And he also desires to help people. And he generally cares about the people that he helps. And also, besides that, too, he has a lot of compassion for those that he is working with and helping. And it shows by how he treats others and his actions. So, just in case you are moving, feel that you have mold and are facing similar symptoms, which I'm actually about to go into, definitely reach out to him because I know that he is more than happy to help. And the link for his company called EnviroProPlus Inc. is in the caption section below. Okay, now I'm going to just take a deep breath here. This is a tough part of the episode to talk about. I got to just brace myself because this is a tough one. All right. I'm not even kidding over here. Now, if you're not, I'm going to start crying. It's a tough one. If you are not familiar with the symptoms of mold exposure, here's a list just so you are aware. It's okay, Jersey Jen. It's okay. It's going to be fine. You're going to be fine, I promise. It's going to go back. Okay, here we go. The first one, I can't even say it, but I have to. No, I'm going to say it. Hair loss. Right out of all things, hair loss. And I have to tell you, I have headphones on here, but this, if you can see it here, look at that, right? This right here. It's beautiful, but it is about 1/3 of my hair. And let me tell you right now, Jersey Jen is still very upset. This is her big hair. This is her big hair over here, right? She's still heated. I have to say, it's okay. I have to calm her down sometimes, but she's okay. She's trying to manage. But I know that the Lord is going to grow it back. Other symptoms from mold are fatigue, anxiety, irritability, brain fog, losing train of thought where you're focusing on one thing and then you see something else and you go to that and you come back. It's a lot. Severe headaches, vertigo, so dizziness, you have the sinus pressure all right alongside your nose, right over here, and it goes right into your ears too, and even the pressure in your head and your lymphatic system, which is all interconnected, which I did not even know, and even alongside your neck. It's a lot, but I have to tell you this because I don't want you to walk through what I've walked through and what I just don't want you to deal with that. Other things are difficulty breathing, so your lungs, heart palpitations. Sometimes if you're walking at a steady pace, the heart or trying to go to sleep, your heart could just go boom, boom, boom out of nowhere. There are upper respiratory infections that you are more prone to, but we're healing from that. Bloating, constipation, a lot of other symptoms as well. So in this caption section, I'm going to try to post it, but there's a document that shows a human, an actual person, and it shows the different types of symptoms that the exposure causes in your body, just so you are aware. Because the last thing I want is for you to be unaware of it, right? If this can help you, no matter what, I really pray and I hope that it does help you. Now, my advice is that after walking through this, it doesn't hurt to get your home or apartment checked, since it is better to be safe than sorry. It really is. Now, how do you heal from this? Well, team, guess what? The story does not stop here. It just keeps going. This is where it gets better. And thank you for this. It's so good. As I'm talking to David, this is good. He mentioned that because of his job and being exposed to mold, he goes to ozone therapy to get rid of the mycotoxins. And I never heard of ozone therapy before. I never knew what the word mycotoxin even meant until very recently. He said that he has their business card in his car and he would actually give it to me. So after he packed everything up, I thought, maybe he'll text me the information. I'll hear from him soon, right? Nope. His actions said it all. As I share this part of the story, listen to the actions because they speak louder than words right here, right? All right. So after he packed everything up, he walked down the flight of stairs, went to his car, loaded everything into his car. And I wasn't watching. I just putting the pieces together in my mind. He grabbed the card, I'm assuming from the car, turned right back around, made a point to walk back up the steps, knock on my door, hand me her card. And by the look in his eyes, I still remember that look to this day. And he gave me this serious but caring look that said, you need to do this. You need to go here. And I felt that. Even to this day, I still feel that. Another blessing from him, from God. When I tell you that God is present every detail, he truly is. He truly is. And when I tell you that the Lord, right, he makes a way for you to be with the right people to help you and to heal, he truly does what he says. And it's because I don't have time to waste time. I don't have time to go to different doctors that are not sure, they don't know what to do because mold is so, it's centered, it's in Florida, but it's like, well, it's very like, what do we do with it? Right. And that's okay. No, they don't know. It's fine. But I remember one of my friends said this to me, that the Lord is the source and everything else, all these resources flow from him. So for example, my right hand is above the screen. This is the Lord, this is the source. My left hand acts as something where it's flowing as the resources. So for example, one resource, Alive Ozone Therapy. Another one, David Minshall from EnviroProPlus Inc. Achieve Wellness, Dr. Ben Rall. My primary care doctor, Dr. Mariana Sisk. All of these businesses, these resources, all flow from him. It's amazing. I remember we're telling a lot of stories today, which is a good thing. But in October 2024, I double lung pneumonia, and my primary care doctor said, you are not going back to work, because my lungs still needed that time to heal. When it comes to your lungs, really any part of your health, you have to listen to it. You have to really take the time to heal. And also, the man of God, right? He knew I needed time to really heal and recover. And when it comes to your lungs, you need to breathe, right? You just or any part of your health, you don't play games. You really, really don't. And what this is teaching me, and I hope that this actually teaches you too, is really putting your health first, which is not selfish. I think sometimes we feel personally, well, if I put my health first, that means I'm selfish. I'm putting myself first. And it's me, I, self. But in reality, no. If your health it's on the line, right? You're going to fight for that. And you are going to put yourself first so you can overcome and to heal. For me personally, after going through this, a lot of changes going on, but mentally changing my mindset of no, it's not selfish, right? Putting myself first, like, hey, I need more sleep. I'm going to get more sleep. Right? My body is saying, hey, we're tired. Okay, I'm going to go rest and not pushing it and not pushing it past the limits. Whereas before my mind would just kind of take over. And for example, I would go to the gym 6, 7 days a week, get up at 2, 3 in the morning just to go work out. My body was saying, hey, we're tired. We don't want to do this right now. Can we just rest? Can we just rest? It's good. The gym's still going to be there. You're going to be okay. And realizing that when I put my health first, right, mentally, physically, and emotionally, they all tie together. So if I'm ready to go, like my body and emotionally, I feel that too, right? So it's very important to understand and be aware of what's going on mentally, physically, and emotionally. And to not sit in things, but to understand. And if one is off, it affects the others as well. I remember my first ozone therapy session, Rachel said this to me. So I was sitting in this cute little Hocket cozy ozone machine, and she came up to me, and they're so wonderful over there because they'll check in on you. Hey, how are you feeling? How's it going? How are you doing? Just to really make sure that you're okay throughout your session. That just speaks volumes of care and love and compassion right there. But she said this to me. She goes, everyone has their favorite burner on the stove, right? So I know for me personally, mine is the upper left one. She goes, you have to be your favorite burner. Like you have to put yourself first. And it's not selfish. It's saying, hey, my body needs to be taken care of right now. I'm going to listen to that and really take care of my health because in the end of the day, your health comes first. So remember how I mentioned just now that the mental, physical, and emotional all tie in together? I'll give you an example. So let's say like Mark is feeling sad, right? And when he feels sad, he physically doesn't want to do anything. What that does over the course of time, and if it goes unaddressed, is affect him mentally because eventually he may think that he is stuck in it. When that happens, right, when that thought comes in, a brick is laid down. And the more that those thoughts come in that are not attended to, another brick is laid down, and then another brick, and another, and another, and another, and they keep piling up, piling up, piling up. And before you know it, you're surrounded by this wall of these thoughts or these bricks that can be hard to actually get out of. So it's very, 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 you have to be mindful of kind of what's going on here and understanding that, hey, an emotion is not a bad thing, right? It's a root of what's going on, but to really understand it and to feel it and to heal it. Because your feelings and emotions are there to tell you something because there's a part of you that needs to be healed. And it's important to honor that emotion, to give it that space. But as you're doing that, heal. And as you're healing, move forward. The point is, the more we think about sadness, the more we stay attached to a certain situation that's in the present or in the past, right? Eventually, those walls start to build up. And those bricks or those thoughts are laid down. And years go by, and you're wondering why you are stuck and why these circumstances become your inner world, which affects how you see the outer world and also alters your perspective and the way of your thinking. It's like when someone says after a breakup, I'm never going to love again. Wait, what? You're telling me that you're going to let one person dictate your life. Not on my watch, you won't. Not going to happen. You have to heal. And healing is such a journey and it takes time. So don't rush it. Don't cover it up with things. Don't cover it up. Don't cover it up with anything because that is going to mask it and make it worse. But what I'm saying is to be aware of your thoughts. Give it time. Don't rush, but don't stay stuck in it and don't agree with it either. For example, this whole mold, schmold, hullabaloo, right? If you take the example of the mold out of it and put it in the loss of a loved one, right? That's a big one, right? A breakup, that's big too. A divorce, maybe getting fired. Yeah, those are all very challenging situations to walk through. But the point is not to stay stuck in it. To feel it, as my other friend Rachel said, to feel it and to heal it. As you are healing, right? That's when you move forward. It's when you keep moving forward as you're healing. Because when you don't move forward, you create a block and the good can't come in. I personally don't agree with what's going on. Is it happening? Yeah, it is. I'm not going to deny it, right? I'm not going to lie. But I'm not going to agree with it because it's not my life. And there is so much more for me that I need to do and to pursue. So much more. When you agree with something that is not for you, you mentally, physically, and emotionally, right? You accept it and create a bond or agreement. So I know the mold symptoms. Hey, I know that you're there, you're over there, right? But what I'm saying is, hey, this is Jen, right? I'm over here, but the symptoms from the mold are over there, right? So I'm right here, I'm Jen, but the symptoms are over there. There is a separation because what I'm doing right now is I'm saying, hey, get out. I'm kicking it out. You're not a part of my life. You're not in my life. Get out. That's exactly what I'm doing. And when you have to be forceful with that too, because that's not my life. It's no one's life. And there is a wonderful song, right? Called by Chumbawamba. We're going back to the 90s. We're just moving around today. But it is a song by Chumbawamba way back in the 90s. And the chorus goes, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to see me down. Just like that. That is the driving force you need to push yourself through. But you have to push for more and not let anything put you in the corner or box you in. Healing is a beautiful journey, and you are turning more into who you need to become and are being carved throughout the way, and that develops character. And you are unlearning and relearning on how to heal with healthy coping skills, right? It's really, really great. But knowing, it's wonderful actually, but knowing that you are an overcomer and can overcome one thing after another, which makes you unstoppable. And I know it can be challenging and hard. I know. I really know it can be. I get it. I definitely get it. But that is where you are carved into the person you need to become and are meant to be. Just keep that in mind. I promise it all gets better. Remember, and I know we're talking about a lot, but remember how I mentioned there are a few special people who lead with their heart? Well, here is one of them. I'm going to give you an example of a business owner that leads with her heart, and she is very special. Very, 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 very special. And her name is Rachel Guy, co-owner of a live ozone therapy spa in Altamonte Springs, Florida. To me, she leads from a place of compassion, care, and not only believes in what she is doing, but believes that you can be healed too. Her story, which I don't want to reveal too much because we're going to talk about it on the next episode, we make a very special field trip. So pack your snacks, pack those Jell-O chocolate pudding cups that I personally love. Also pack those Uncrustables, the Lunchables, the strawberry Pop-Tarts with little glaze on top and the sprinkles. Yeah, pack those too. And those little, what's that called? Those little cakes. It's not Little Debbie. It's like, what are they called? They're so good. But anyway, we'll pack those two. I'll pack them for you. All right. Goldfish, pack them all. And water. We need to stay hydrated. That's very important. But when we go on our field trip, we are going to talk to her and Kinsey a whole lot more. But when I talk to her and Kinsey as well, and her husband and Rachel's husband, Jason, I know that I can get through what I'm going through because not only has she overcome, but she wants everyone who walks in that business to be healed no matter how long it takes. You feel it every time. Rachel, Kinsey, and Jason, they all genuinely care. And as soon as you open the door, right, out of a place of concern, they ask how you're doing. There's sincerity in their tone. And when they ask, how are you feeling today? Like how are you feeling? How's it going? They want to know. And I know they care. I can tell. And they asked to actually help me heal since they can't read my mind, right? They're not in my body. And if something is bothering me, then they can help me by going after it. To them, you are a person with feelings and care a lot about what you're going through. And a great part is that I don't need to rush what I'm saying or to hide how I'm feeling. Because if I'm not honest with myself and how I'm feeling, then eventually it packs onto my body and reveals itself in another way. Maybe not now, but in the future. And if I'm not honest with them, right, and how I'm doing or feeling, then I lose out on the opportunity of getting the help that I need. And then my body internalizes that and it feels like I'm not heard or no one cares, which shows up later on down the road in life. And all of that, and it's interesting too. It says that sometimes people internalize and they feel like nobody cares, but the truth is that everybody cares. They do care. But your body doesn't know the difference, which is why it's important to communicate and to be in a safe environment, especially when you are healing. Now, in the episode of How to Cope with the Loss of a Loved One, I mentioned how after some time I shut down and became numb because it was a defense mechanism, right? The wall. It was like a wall that went up to protect me. I was protecting myself so I wouldn't be in pain. But my body didn't know that, which is why it's important to be mindful and aware of how you were feeling and not run from it, but be aware of it and to heal. Proverbs 18 verse 21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Those who love it will eat its fruits." It is very important when how you talk about yourself and what you say about yourself out loud and to yourself, because your body can't tell the difference and internalizes it and eventually becomes it. Even when you are, oh, I'm just joking, I'm just teasing. No. Even when someone makes a joke about themselves, it's not really a joke. You actually think that way and feel that way about yourself when your body internalizes that and then becomes it. Just keep that in mind. When you say, I'm smart, bright, kind, funny, I can figure this out, right? You get excited and your body starts to feel those emotions and goes down that road. But when the opposite happens, then it goes down that road. So in this book, I have it right over here. It's right here, boom. The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel van der Kolk. There are a lot of true stories about patients who walked through traumatic experiences in their childhoods and how by not talking about it or confronting it, and eventually they act out, it comes out when they are adults because their inner child was not heard, right? They didn't heal. They didn't take the time to heal. They were running from it. There was a fight or flight response to either run away or to go into this super fight mode to get through it. And I went through that too. When I found out about the whole mold thing, my body went into fight or flight. It was, I got to fight through this one, like very just like this, ran out of there and I had to fight through it, but it wasn't healthy on my body. So that's why it's so important to be really aware of what's going on and to just heal and to take your time and not, but sometimes it can turn into this natural reaction we have to understand and to unlearn. But back to the book. Anyway, because sometimes when we go through these difficult situations, right, we may think at a young age that we're not heard, loved, respected. And the patients in this book, their bodies held on to that and caused them to react and become a certain way, which eventually actually creates these defense mechanisms that they're not fully aware of, but they're acting it out. Not only were these experiences controlling them, but it was controlling their future if unaddressed. And I highly recommend this book. It's a lot, but there is something there I feel like for everyone to walk away with. When we don't take care of ourselves or listen to our bodies and how they need to be listened to, then eventually becomes a problem. Because of being at a live ozone, I can be honest and say, hey, I'm having a lot of sinus pressure right now. I'm getting pressure in my ears. I'm getting it in my head. I have a sore throat. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm coming down with something. All of these different things that are associated with the word that starts with an M, but rhymes with the word told. I can't even say that word anymore. I'm so tired of it. It's like, ugh, I hear the word one more time, but it's okay. But also, here's the deal. It's important to communicate how you are feeling and to be honest. Because when you do, it really is a weight lifted off of your shoulders. Because how you feel is valid. And one of my friends in Boston, his name is Josh, when I went to college in Boston, I would walk down this beautiful street, Anderson Street, make a right on a Cambridge Street and go to Starbucks. And my friend Josh, who was a barista there, I would always go in there and just talk to him. We would just talk and catch up. And he said to me one day, this was about 15, 16 years ago. He goes, how you feel is valid. And that clicked in my mind too. That never left. That stayed with me even to this day. But it's true because how you feel is valid. But how you feel about yourself, right? It manifests or it shows itself in how you carry yourself too. So keep that in mind. I remember one day as I was driving to ozone therapy, I started having this pressure, this gnawing pressure in my head. And I felt tired. Remember the first time I went there, actually, I almost fell asleep driving because I was just exhausted because of the mold exposure. And I remember saying out loud, like, what is going on? Will you just leave me alone already? Like, go away. But now my body is going through the healing process, right? And the symptoms, for the most part, are pretty much gone. Like the sinus pressure is gone, the ear pressure is gone. I don't have pressure in my headaches anymore. It's just really gone. And occasionally, from time to time, one thing might pop up, but that's because it's healing. The body takes time to really heal and to really get everything out and to reset. It's not an overnight button. It's not boop, okay, everything's back on track. We're not robots, right? We're people. And our bodies need that our bodies heal and they need that time to really heal. But I remember when I got to ozone therapy and after the session, I kid you not, as soon as I was done with treatment, I felt lighter, right? The sinus pressure was gone. And as I walked out of there, I remember this so well. Rachel, Kinsey, and Jason all had this big smile on their face. Like, oh, and then they asked, like, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Like, how was your session? It would just made me feel like made me feel what I was walking through was important and that this journey is important and that they truly actually care and that they're happy that I'm getting healed from this. It's just it's a beautiful place to be. But it's so important that you can be in a place like a live ozone where people care about your healing and where it is safe to heal, where they take the time to walk you through the process, to help you heal. They don't throw a lot of things at you, but they make you feel important because to them you are important. They create this place where it is safe to heal. One day I parked my car and as I walked into live ozone and closed the door, I remember so well something was just felt really different in a live ozone. And my body felt like I can heal here. Like, oh, it's safe to heal. And that right there it gave my body the permission to literally sit in the Hawkett ozone machine for 30 minutes and just heal and just take it in And that right there, I haven't felt that way in a place in a while. So it really is beautiful. And check this out because I have more stories. All right. There are so many wonderful stories from this place. I remember, and it's so good. Now, before I stepped into the Hocket machine, which is it's like a little cozy, it's a cozy ozone therapy cocoon. It's really, really cute. Sometimes I never want to leave. But I noticed that the upper part of my toes were yellow. And when Rachel came to check on me, I mentioned it and she said, "Oh, that's your liver." So what she did was she set a 3-minute protocol on the machine to actually go after my liver and to target that. And after the time was up, guess what, team? The discoloration was gone. When I got home, I was constantly checking my toes and my fingers and even my elbows too to see, is it gone? Is it there? Like, what's going on here? Are you pink? Are you okay? But it was gone. And the discoloration never came back. One more story because this one is fun. This one is, check this out. I remember, so it's after going to ozone therapy, I did also halo therapy. Now, halo therapy is very different, where you are sitting in this really beautiful sauna that's red light pointing at you, and you have these really cool glasses on. You feel like you're in like the 80s, 90s. It's really, really cool. And like you're in some kind of sci-fi movie to protect your eyes. And when you're sitting there, the toxins, you're sweating everything out. But at the same time, you're breathing in the eucalyptus salt and then you're just breathing all that stuff out. And when you're breathing in the eucalyptus salt, you're just breathing in this sense of healing. And you can finally, it opens up your lungs and you feel so much better just being in there, but also after the session. As I was driving home, and this makes me laugh to this day. So as I was driving home, and if you're listening, I'm a very, very visual person. I'm going to kind of act this out. But the left side of my lung, something was right here. And I have my right hand right here. And literally what happened was whatever was in my left side of the lung was trying to come out. And it kind of went like this, whoop, 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 like was just trying to go up. My hands are going up and it was just whoop, 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 trying to get out. And I'm thinking, now you want to come out? Like I'm driving now, like right now. We're not even home. Where am I going to park? Where am I going to go? I'm driving over here. But the thing is, the body doesn't care, right? The body doesn't care. It's saying, hey, I need help. Hey, I'm not doing so well right now. Like this needs to come out. I don't want this stuff in my lungs. I don't want this in your lungs, Jen. It needs to get out. Your body speaks to you in a lot of ways. And the key is to listen to it. It's just to listen to it. And that's something that I'm still learning to this day. And it's a journey. It really, really is. For me personally, I'm listening because the mind sometimes thinks that it knows, but it actually doesn't. When the mind tries to take over, the body eventually follows, even when it doesn't want to. But that is where you have to say, not now, mind. Not now. Not right now. And from there, you can be more mindful of what your body is telling you. The mind is very quick to hide pain and say, I'm fine. I don't need help. But you know you need help, and to be honest with yourself and not feel ashamed about needing help because we all need it, and to prioritize our health more and more. Now, if I go to ozone therapy every day, I would. But that's not the case. And that's okay. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because Rachel and her team create these wonderful products that I actually have right here in front of me. The first one is their Alive Ozone Magnesium Butter. So this is absolutely fantastic. If I can't be there, I use this. It is amazing. It is amazing. And it's all natural ingredients, and it comes in different scents such as lavender, peppermint, and eucalyptus. Now, whenever I feel a little pressure in my ears or have pressure in my sinuses or even in my head, or sometimes if I get a little bit like a pain in my head too, or on the long side of my neck, really any part of your body. What I do, and I'll show you. I'll just open this up. It smells so good. This smells like, oh, I wish you could smell it. It smells like I can see it right now. This is lavender, by the way, but it's almost like there's this pale blue light coming in and the window is open and then your curtains are flowing, this beautiful breeze, and there's a really soft pillow that you just want to go take a nap on. That's exactly what this smells like. It just smells so good. But what I like to do is I take a little bit, depending on whatever is going on, and I just rub it, my hands, and I'll just put it right over here in my sinuses, and I'll rub that in over here, make sure it's just really onto my skin, all over my head too, depending on wherever I'm having any pain. And honestly, just like that, it goes away. The pain goes away instantly. Something else too, now this is for the ladies, and this is when Aunt Flo comes unannounced. Just kidding, we love you. Aunt Flo is, our period. But what I like to do also, if cramps are really bad, where it's just painful, I'll take a little bit and I'll rub it on the lower, my lower back. The cramps go away in a second. It works instantly. One time I went to the gym and I guess I hurt my right tendon in my right forearm. And what happened was it was hard for me to actually reverse my car. So I used my left hand to help reverse and then my left hand to park. As soon as I got home, I took some of their magnesium butter and rubbed it into my right forearm, my tendon, and the pain was gone. So this is wonderful. You don't need, and I'm telling you, you don't need Tylenol, Advil, or Excedrin. What you need is a live Ozone's magnesium butter. That's what you need. It's amazing. I don't know what they do, but they work some kind of, it's magnesium magic up in there. And their magnesium is from him because it is very simple ingredients. And because of the exposure, it's helping me so much. It's helping me so much more than I could possibly ever fathom. Another product that I like to use too this is helping me a lot also, it's their bee generator. It's their Be Alive single room ozone generator, which I actually plug into the walls. And that pumps in ozone. So there are 3 separate levels here, depending on how much you want to pump into your room. But what this does, and it just keeps going, keeps pumping in, it's amazing. What this does too is it pumps ozone into your room so that way you're always breathing in ozone. And it eliminates odors and mold. And personally, it gives me peace when I'm sleeping at night or throughout the day because I know I'm breathing this in and I'm surrounded by it. It helps a lot. What helps me a lot too is that Rachel and Kinsey, since they've been in this for quite a bit of time, they recommend these great electrolytes. I have it right here too. I know I don't say something unless I truly believe in it. And this has been helping me tremendously. It's by this brand called doTerra, and it's MetaPWR Recharge. They're electrolytes. And it's these little, right over here. And you have to shake it really well. There's actually magnesium in here too, so you have to shake it very, 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 very well. And then pour it into, oh, that just fell. Pour it into your little, it's not going to want to be used, but you have to pour it into your drink of choice, into water. And this flavor is their strawberry, which is absolutely fantastic. But for me, because of the mold exposure causing that pressure, as soon as I take one sip of their electrolytes, it goes away. The pressure goes away. It is strong and it works instantly. Since my body is detoxing and sweating out the toxins, it's depleted of those electrolytes. But their electrolytes are absolutely fantastic. And if I get any pain from the mold exposure, it instantly works. Also, if I have trouble breathing, this might help you too. If you suffer from allergies or if you have a cold, their doTerra Breathe, there we go, respiratory blend is absolutely fantastic too. It has really nice peppermint smell as well. So you have peppermint oil, citrus, cinnamon, my favorite, so good. And other laurel leaf too, and eucalyptus. So what I like to do, and Rachel and Kenzie taught me this as well, is that you take some, my hand, and you just boop boop pour a couple of drops in there. So I have some right here. You can see it, and then I rub it together, and then breathe in and you do that about 3 or 4 times. And what this does, it gets right into your nasal passages, gets right into your actual lungs, and helps you to breathe a lot. It's helped me quite a bit in the past with my lungs, and now I feel a whole lot better and I can actually breathe. So praise God for that. These are great products. So if you're interested in any of them, they're also in our caption section below. And if you want to order any of Alive Ozone's products too, definitely check out their website and their QR code. If you want to pause the episode, is actually right over here underneath on the bottom of their magnesium butter jar. All right. Now, before we move on to Dr. Ben, I want to say this. That if you, and I have to say this too, that if you or anyone you know is going through severe mold exposure, any type of cancer, depression, dementia, Alzheimer's, or any other illness, I promise a live ozone therapy spa will not only help you, they'll not only help you fully heal, but they create a safe space for you to heal. And they lead you along the way on your healing journey with genuine support and compassion. And they're holding your hand every step of the way. I can promise you that, and I can guarantee that as well. All right. When it comes to healing, it's important to be around people who have compassion for what you're going through and who lead with purpose. And another person that the Lord is using to heal many people is Dr. Ben Rall, who's a wonderful chiropractor and owner of Achieve Wellness in Kissimmee, Florida, who also has his own podcast and book called Designed to Heal. This practice is very special because when you walk in, you feel welcome. And you could tell that people not only want to work there, but be there too. The patients form friendships with each other too, and it creates this warm, friendly family environment, and it's very inviting as well. When you are in any sort of business that is centered around healing, really any business at all, I guess, honestly, after some time, it can wear on you because you have sympathy for what the person is going through. You care, you take it on yourself as well, and you have compassion. When you or someone you know is healing from something that can be daunting, overwhelming, and too much, and you don't know how to heal them, it is important to have the right people around, especially healers that truly care about those they're helping and provide support and encouragement along the way. Dr. Ben Rall is another example of someone who leads from his heart, from a place of compassion, sincerity, and encouragement. And his team cares a lot too with not only how you are feeling, but also about your personal lives, which adds a warm, personal touch to it. Every time I see him, he remembers what we talked about from last week. So he's very mindful and he's very, very present. He gives advice and encourages those around him, including his own team. There was a time when his peer Adriana, who has a very important role in the office to ensure that everyone, all patients, see him. So there's an actual flow in the office for everyone to see Dr. Ben. As she was doing her job, Dr. Ben walked right by her. I remember this so well. He turned around towards the right and said to her, "You are doing a great job." Just like that. He could have walked by and not even say a word. He could have walked by, go to his patients, not even say anything. But he led from his heart, from a place of encouragement. And praise the Lord, because we all need those leaders, right? Those people in our lives, our families, relationships, friends that encourage us, our coworkers that also encourage us and provide support and that add positivity in our lives too. Witnessing that not only helped me to see how much he cares about his team, but that he cares about what he does and providing encouragement to someone, whether it be a coworker, a colleague, a friend, or a patient. And we all need that because it gives energy, positive energy. and a little pep in your step too. And Dr. Ben's Rall, thought-provoking book, I have right over here. Hold, please. Right over here. It is called Designed to Heal, 365 Daily Inspirations for Health and Wellness. Now, each page is designed to talk about scripture, God's healing power, and how within us we have all that we need to heal and that our bodies can heal on its own. It also goes into a section called Take Heart, where Dr. Ben says to hold on to. You take heart, you hold on to that, right? And then take action. You hold on to it, but then you take action from that place, which makes you think about the steps that you can take to change your life for the better. And it's all the process too. For example, when I read day 1, and I will show you, here we go, just so you can kind of see the layout. So day 1, there's a scripture on top, Dr. Ben's summary, take heart, and take action. Now, in the first one, I feel like it's a story time, like story time with Belle. This is how I feel. But in the beginning, it's called In the Beginning, God. And it goes from Genesis 1:1. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1, verse 1. He goes on to say, and this makes me laugh, that God, right? So God created everything. The trees, the sun, the sky, stars, the dirt, the moon, everything. And it's important because it reminds us that, he created us too, right? That the God who created everything, all of nature, he created us too. And to think about his creativity and to be in awe of it and how there is a connection there with him as well. That the God who created Blue Ridge Mountains, which is beautiful, created every living person on this planet. This book not only draws you closer to God, but helps you to know that he heals and is very present. It is a daily reminder of God's kindness, love for mankind, creativity, and how he truly gave us everything we need within our bodies to heal, even the right foods, and how our bodies actually fight off illness, and how God truly has given us all that we need all around. There's a section here where it says in Take Action, take a few minutes to think about or look up some beautiful natural wonders, such as the Grand Canyon, Victoria Falls, or the Blue Ridge Mountains. Let them remind you of the awesome creativity of the God who made you. Something else in this passage that makes me laugh too and want to share is, he goes, this is from Dr. Ben, he goes, God made everything out of nothing. We humans have never made a single cell, yet scientists estimate that we have anywhere from 37 to 100 trillion of them. There is an old joke about a scientist who challenged God to a human-making competition. He said he had figured it out and could do a better job than God. This is funny. When the scientist scooped up some dirt to begin his project, God said, "Make your own dirt." I did. This exposes the pride and arrogance we often have toward God and his creation. We are called to steward and care for his creation, not try to be superior to him as a creator. His design is perfect. So that part was just, want to share that with you. Another day I want to share with you too is day 182, called Feed My Sheep. And it talks about how Jesus, after he was resurrected, he came back and he talked to his disciples and to Peter specifically and asked him 3 times if he still loves him. In this passage, Dr. Ben talks about how our bodies need the right nutrients for our systems to run, the right fuel, and what that right fuel looks like. And Take Action, it makes you think about, for me personally, eating clean, right? Eating foods that are close to the original design and how God made them, and making you more closer to him, to an understanding that he gives us the right things for the right fuel that's beneficial, so our physical beings can actually run properly. But each page also brings you closer to God and to understand or know him and how he truly cares about us. He really does, loves us, and is constantly healing us. Also, because of Dr. Ben, I find that my body and mind are more alert and my posture is a lot better too. I remember in the beginning when I found about the whole molds, those shenanigans, okay? During one of the adjustments, he pressed down, and this was powerful, like, whoo, powerful. He pressed down. I don't know what he even did or how he even knew to press down on my shoulders. I don't know how he even knew that, right? But he pressed down on my shoulders. I kid you not, I felt electricity go right through my whole face, the left side of my brain, and left side of my head. It almost felt like the bright lights just turned on and things were just getting highlighted. And I asked him, like, what was that? He goes, well, that's your lymphatic system. I'm like, what? That's this whole time? I had no clue. I had no clue. But my body was just so inflamed because of the exposure that when he pressed down, it felt like the lights were just turning on and it was like electrified. But that to me was like, wow, everything, it's all interconnected. And here's the thing, I don't know how he knows which parts to work on when I see him, but he just does. And I cannot wait to ask him more questions when we actually see him and talk to him. When I go there after that one session, when he pressed down on my shoulders, that pain, he actually went away. He did it one more time and I didn't feel the electricity anymore, which tells me it's working, things are going well. So he knows what he's doing and I'll leave it there. But the point is that Dr. Ben not only takes the time to understand what you're walking through, but is present during each conversation and leads out of a place of compassion and genuine concern when he talks to you and does what it takes to ensure you're feeling better after every adjustment. He leads from compassion in his heart since he wants to see you healed so you can have more energy and move forward in your life. And there are amazing stories of patients that actually walk out of there fully healed. It's all over on the walls at Achieve Wellness, but it's truly wonderful. And he treats you as a friend, and so does his team with Lydia, Heidi, Adriana, and Vic as well. Also, he and his team create an encouraging environment that is a safe space, which is designed for you to feel that you can heal and have more energy. He is another rare gem, and I highly recommend Dr. Ben Rall to everyone. Something else to think about this as well. So when you take care of others, right? Especially like Dr. Ben or Rachel or Kinsey, anybody that's in your business is designed around healing other people, you have to also make sure to find the time for yourself. And it's not selfish, but to recharge and to not take everything on yourself, because that's actually going to cause you to just feel weighed down. And then eventually your body's going to start going into that actual shape because you feel burned and you feel weighed down. And it impacts your body and mind later on without realizing it. So it's important to have healthy coping skills as well for yourself to really just recharge, reboot, to take care of yourself, but take care of others as well. And with all this being said, now how can we, right? Now, how can we lead with compassion? What can we do to lead with compassion? Well, it starts by caring, right? And it's, as we know, compassion is led from the heart. It's a strong feeling. It's a strong feeling where you feel that person's pain so deeply in your heart that you are compelled to do something about it. You have empathy for the person's pain, that you want them to be healed and will do what you can. It's understanding that what that person is going through, right? And being patient with others, counting their needs more important than your own. What is mentioned in Philippians 2 verses 3-4, which says, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you not look only to his own interests, but also the interests of others. Something else is taking action to help someone heal. And sometimes the best thing you can do is listen. Sometimes we just need someone to talk to, and that's okay. If one of your friends or colleagues starts talking to you about something that they're going through or troubling them or what they walked through in the past, what you can do is give them your time and attention because they may not be directly or verbally asking for it, right? But in that moment, they are non verbally saying, "Hey, I trust you and I need your advice. I need help." And to really be there with a mindful ear to give advice and be there when they need it, which leads us into our Note Bene section. I know I'm sad too. But I hope you learned a lot from this episode and how leading with your heart is important and the importance of leading with compassion for others because it shows a very deep concern and care for others as well. Something else to keep in mind is that through the healing journey, the necessity of listening to your body because it talks to you and the importance of taking care of it step by step, as well as truly healing and not being afraid of what the root cause may be. Because that right there is freeing. Right? When you know what the root cause of why you're feeling is there, it gets easier and easier and easier, and you can actually heal it. And then from there, keep moving forward. But also, when you're going through that journey, give yourself that space to breathe and heal. And as you're healing, gently move forward. It's not a quick turn. And that's not how healing is. It's a step by step, and you gently and slowly, but you gently get there. And time is your friend because it happens all within time. The body, as we talk about this book, right? The Body Keeps a Score by Bessel van der Kolk. It talks about being aware of your childhood, right? So what you walked through since that eventually manifests itself in adulthood, and to be mindfully, mentally aware of that framework that is from your past, right? And to know that your past does not need to define or dictate your future. And the best thing you can do is to take the steps to confront what is going on, to heal, to have peace with yourself, knowing that you are healing and overcoming. That's a big word right there. Overcoming the circumstances, no matter what the case may be. But knowing you can do it. There are times when it can be tricky, where you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward, but then one day, all of a sudden, you feel like you're taking 3 steps backwards. But as mentioned, a healing is a step-by-step process that can't be rushed. And to remember, as Rachel says, you are your favorite burner. In your lives, be aware of the thoughts that come in and practice mindfulness and understanding where those thoughts come from. And that framework that everyone lives their lives is something that drives them forward, right? It guides them along on their path. And knowing that it's okay sometimes to need an adjustment, right? Sometimes we need to replace those screws, get new nuts and bolts, take this piece out and put it here. Take our framework and put it on a new foundation. Sometimes that has to happen. But that doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. It just means, hey, we all need a little bit of an adjustment sometimes, a little bit of tweaking. And it's actually freeing that way too, because then you can walk down the road you were meant to walk. Something else to keep in mind, I'm throwing a lot at you, but it's only because I care and I want to give you all that I can possibly give and to really help you to overcome and to heal. Something else to keep in mind is that we are here to live selflessly, not selfishly, selflessly. To love one another, help each other, and always help others with compassion in our hearts. In a book called The Body Keeps a Score, Brain, Mind, and Body, right? In the Healing of Trauma, on page 217, this touched me right here, touched my heart. It's page 217, and this section, it's called Healing from Trauma, Owning Yourself, but the verse is called Getting in Touch. And you can see on this page too, a painting of Christ healing the sick by Rembrandt van Rijn. And it says, gestures of comfort are universally recognizable and reflect the healing power of attuned touch. just seeing the compassion in the Lord right there as he's healing this person, the fact that he stopped to heal that person says it all. He could have kept going, but his actions and just the touch says it all. Because it shows that sometimes when we are going through a difficult time, sometimes we just need a gentle touch from someone we trust, whether it be a hug, that person holding your hand to comfort you, to console you, and placing their hand on your shoulder while listening and telling you it's going to be okay. Sometimes we just need someone to slow down and ask how we're doing. That alone right there shows compassion and provides healing, since it automatically makes you feel better and you feel safe and cared for. Remember, as mentioned, God is very present in our lives, especially in times of trouble, which is shown in Psalm 46, and that all, with a capital A, all of our help comes from the Lord, no matter the circumstance or the situation, and to know that no matter what you are going through, to lead from a place of compassion for others and be the overcomer they know you are. Until next time on Gen Talks, we take a special field trip to a live ozone therapy spa to visit our friends Rachel and Kinsey, so stay tuned. I kind of feel like we're Winnie the Pooh and we're going to 100 Acre Wood. I'm getting that vibe right now. But anyways, if you enjoyed this topic, please feel free to like, follow, comment, share, or subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/Gen, that's with one N, Gen Talks Podcast, and also follow me on Instagram at Gen Talks Podcast. And always remember, you can tune in on Spotify as well. And if you have an episode in mind or something you would like me to talk about, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, but also send me an email at gentalkspodcast@gmail.com, as I'm more than happy to hear from you. More importantly, thank you for listening and thank you for being you. Wishing you all peace, light, and love in the new year, and may God bless you and keep you. Take care and see you soon.